This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
We don't want to have to be afraid to be outside at nighttime.
When it comes to nighttime security, measures police often say lock your doors and turn on your lights. But people living at an apartment complex near 38th and Sherman in Indianapolis cannot do either of those things.
Yeah, and that's because some lights and locks don't work.
New at 11, RTV6's Graham Hunter went to the Villages at Mill Crossing, where one woman says she feels unsafe outside her own home.
For years, folks who live out here have been contending with an issue they want management to solve. They say when the sun goes down, the lights go out.
When I first moved in here 12 years ago, there was lights at the end of the street.
Evelyn Ghost is no stranger on RTV6.
I've been robbed 3 times since I've been here.
We interviewed her in 2016, the last time it happened.
As I went to unlock my door, he reached over and grabbed my purse, took off with it.
Almost 3 years have passed, and all the while, the lights have been out in the parking lot of the apartments.
There was always one excuse after another as to why they couldn't fix the lights on the buildings.
And to top it all off,
It's not been a locked door for, I'm going to say, at least 5 years.
the doors to her building and many others don't lock.
Anybody can walk in.
The lack of lighting has changed the things Ghost is comfortable doing.
I don't go to church at nighttime anymore.
Lighting makes a difference.
Well, they couldn't hide in the shadows.
Now at night, all folks living here have to shine the way
The light from the cross that lit up this end of the street.
from the church across the street.
The song, "The Way of the Cross Leads Home," that's the way I felt.
It's a literal beacon guiding the way home for residents,
Be thoughtful of us. You know, we pay our rent.
and a beacon of hope that management will finally get something done to add lighting of its own.
We want to feel secure. We want our families to feel secure and safe.
Reporting from the east side, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
Graham, thanks. And we reached out to management at the complex to find out if they were planning to fix the lights or unlock doors, but we never heard back.
Working for you, irreplaceable items returned. After trying to get help for years, a Central Indiana woman finally gets results after Call 6 investigates, gets involved.
I've done what I can as far as legal means and all that, and that's why I thought I wanted to get some help.
Well, many of Sandra Gruber's family memories exist on old 8mm film tapes. In 2015, a flooding in the basement where she stored the film prompted her to digitize it as a precaution. She sent the tapes to Rocky Mountain Film Lab in Aurora, Colorado, a service that processes old film and puts it on DVD flash drive or downloadable file. Years passed, and she still didn't have her precious memories.
I'm not going to say devastating, but it is very disappointing. Extremely disappointing. And I want it resolved for everyone.
Well, Call 6 contacted Rocky Mountain Film Lab on Sandra's behalf. The company told us the film was still being processed. When we asked why it has taken so many years, workers said it takes time to develop old film. But later that day, Sandra got the call that the film was processed and being shipped back to her along with DVDs. Sandra says that she wishes that she had researched that company more. You can do that by reading reviews or looking at Better Business Bureau reviews. If you have a problem and feel like you have nowhere else to turn, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
Now to a live look at Victory Field from our tower camera. You can see the tarp on the field, and Kevin is tracking some rain for that. We don't like a washed out field, Kevin.
That will not happen, not likely. We'll have some rain, though, as part of a transition to much cooler temperatures. We made it to 76 today in Indianapolis. Currently, though, temperature is at 59 and falling. A much cooler day is on the way tomorrow, and the showers confirm the cold front moving through. They haven't really been able to sustain themselves, so you get a quick downpour, then they fade away. The back edge of this is back in Illinois from Champaign down to around Effingham. That will swing through while you sleep tonight. In the morning hours tomorrow, a few scattered showers around. Those linger mid-morning into early afternoon, but the real shocker, temperatures that start in the 50s are only in the low 60s at noon. I'll finish the timeline for showers and look into the weekend coming up.
All right, Kevin, we'll see you soon. Thank you. A Central Indiana family is demanding nursing homes and senior living centers pay closer attention to their background checks after an alleged sexual attack. A lawsuit claims a female resident at Carmel Senior Living was sexually abused by by an employee who worked in the kitchen in August of last year. Turns out the employee had serious offenses on his record, pleading guilty to murder and child molestation in 1987. A family member whose identity we are not revealing to protect the alleged victim spoke with RTV6.
I trusted the facility to keep my family members safe and to provide the best care to them, as discussed during our tour and conversations, and they did not meet expectations.
A representative for Carmel Senior Living tells RTV6, quote, "Due to the active civil proceedings, we cannot comment at this time. We are taking these allegations very seriously and are conducting our own internal investigation as well as fully cooperating with authorities," end quote.
Investigators are still searching for 2 suspects in connection to animal abuse at Fair Oaks Farm in northwest Indiana. Police have arrested 1 man in the case, 36-year-old Edgar Gardozo Vasquez. Now, the arrest comes as the farm faces more and new allegations of abuse. Today, the Animal Recovery Mission, or ARM, released a second video they say shows employees at Fair Oaks beating cows onto the milking line and snapping their tails when they refuse to move. ARM is calling for changes at Fair Oaks and farms across the country.
There is hundreds, if not thousands, of dairy farms all across the United States, right? So we need to show that the cruelty happens everywhere, not just at this one location.
RTV6 has reached out to Fair Oaks for comment on the new video. After the release of the first video, the farm's founder and owner promised to install cameras around the facility.
New at 11, 1 person is dead and 3 others hurt after separate shootings in Indianapolis. Around 7:15 tonight, police were called to Lynn Street, northeast of Belmont, and Michigan Street on the west side. The victim was shot in the arm. About an hour before that, police were called to 33rd and Sherman on the northeast side. They found a woman and a car with gunshot wounds. She told officers she was actually shot at 29th and Dearborn. When police went to that location about a mile away, they found a man dead in the street. Several people crowded around one of the crime scenes, which is not uncommon. Police have this message for neighbors if something like this happens in your community.
We understand having people around. We don't mind that, this is their community. They want to know what's going on. And I understand that. But the most important thing is not to try to take things into your own hands, not to try to get into the scene in other ways.
Police have not released any names, and right now it's unclear what led up to the violence. We will bring you updates as we learn new information.
Starting next month, some IMPD officers will add something new to their uniforms: body cameras. The department starts its trial phase in July. The body cams will be spread out across 3 districts. The testing period was supposed to start earlier this year, but the department postponed the launch to focus on policies like when officers will turn them on or off when interacting with the public. Zionsville police officers are also getting new equipment thanks to a donation from the fire department. Police are getting 5 automated external defibrillators, better known as AEDs. Now, all Zionsville police vehicles will be equipped with the life-saving equipment. Money raised from CPR classes offered by the Zionsville Fire Department paid for that donation.
Noblesville is getting something it hasn't had in more than 100 years: apartments in the downtown area. Today, the city broke ground on a mixed-use development project between 8th and 9th Streets off Maple Avenue. It includes an apartment complex, parking garage, and space for retail, offices, restaurants, and much more. Developers say it will be a big change, but a change for the better.
The first inclination is, wow, that's a big building here in our downtown. But then you become, and you don't remember what it was like when you start to see the way people enjoy it, the additional parking, folks living here, creates such a cool vibrancy to downtown that it's really, after it's built, kind of a no-brainer and becomes a really part of the fabric of what's happening here in Noblesville.
The project, called the Levinson, it's part of a capital improvement plan spanning 5 years.
A Central Indiana company goes back to school to address the growing need for workers. We'll explain how the program works ahead in hiring Hoosiers.
Your student, you're supposed to protect them. That's what they're there for.
And next, the father of an Indiana boy named most annoying by his teachers weighs in on the calls to fire several staff members. You're watching RTV6 News at 11.
Where more means more.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
If they fire them, then that's what needs to be done. But it should never happen from the beginning.
That's the father of a student in Northwest Indiana at the center of controversy. Last week in Gary, teachers named the 5th grade boy most annoying at a school banquet. Now the school district is considering firing 3 teachers and the principal. Last night at a school board meeting, several board members apologized to the family.
People apologized for the board. When I was contacted, I immediately went to Dr. Pete and tried to get this thing resolved as amicably as I possibly could. It saddens me, however, that the principal still has not apologized, nor has the teacher apologized.
One of the teachers told the Northwest Indiana Times she feels like a scapegoat.
Authorities are searching for a 7th suspect in the shooting of former Red Sox star David Ortiz. Police released new information in the case today, saying someone offered a group of men money to carry out the hit. ABC's Maggie Rulli has details tonight.
Several suspects are now in custody in the shooting of David Ortiz. In a dramatic move, the chief of police holding up the gun that he says was used to try to kill the former Red Sox star. Authorities releasing this surveillance video showing 2 Hyundais parked in front of each other. One man getting out of one of the cars, a motorcycle nearby. Moments later, that motorcycle seen with 2 men on it driving towards the bar. The gunmen walking up to Big Papi, shooting him in the back. The shots sending club goers running from their seats. The suspected shooter identified as Ralphie Ferreira Cruz. Authorities saying the group was offered 400,000 pesos, less than $8,000, for a coordinated hit on the former Red Sox star. Also in custody, Eddie Feliz Garcia, charged as an accomplice to attempted murder. Beloved in his hometown, Ortiz often traveled the dangerous streets of Santo Domingo with little or no security, trusting his fans to protect him. Ortiz is back in Boston and underwent a second surgery. His wife says he is awake, stable, and resting comfortably. She went on to thank his fans and the Boston Red Sox for all of their support, but says now she's asking for privacy. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
A bill that would renew funding to help September 11th first responders is moving forward. The vote to advance the measure comes one day after this powerful testimony.
And these men and women and their response to it is what brought our country back. It's what gave a reeling nation a solid foundation to stand back upon, to remind us of why this country is great, of why this country is worth fighting for. And you are ignoring them.
Jon Stewart's passionate plea to a Capitol Hill committee made headlines across the country. Many 9/11 first responders have suffered from lung illnesses, cancer, and other health problems after working at Ground Zero in the aftermath of the attacks.
Jon Stewart did what he did best. Jon Stewart articulated our pain and suffering and our agony over the last 18 years. And Jon painted a picture for America to see. He painted a landscape to let America know that over 95,000 people on the World Trade Center health program that are being treated across our great nation are being forgotten by our federal government.
The September 11th Victim Compensation Fund is set to expire in December of next year. The bill now moves to the House floor and would also need to be passed by the Senate.
The Indianapolis International Airport Terminal is one of the first to be built after the September 11th attacks. Today, the Airport Authority put its emergency operations plan to the test.
Is arriving. Station Area 3 will take staging.
Today, the airport held a full-scale multi-agency training exercise. Airport personnel, first responders, and people from more than 35 organizations participated. Rick Gentry, the Airport Authority fire chief, says it's crucial that everyone is prepared for the worst.
It's important to do this to make sure that if we do have an incident, that we are prepared at any given moment to muster this kind of response and mitigate it and save as many lives as we can.
The chief says planning this exercise takes about a year. Normal airport operations were not impacted.
Another skilled trade industry is hiring Hoosiers as it faces a nationwide shortage of workers. One local company is addressing a lack of electricians by going back to high school. 2 years ago, Gaylor Electric added a high school classroom to its facility in Noblesville. It's called The Crossing. High school students receive state-mandated coursework in the morning. Then Gaylor takes over with hands-on training. Sam Gaunt is among the first graduates of the school.
I'm really thankful that I was turned towards the Crossing because, I mean, everybody I've been around has been so kind and helpful.
Gaylor is expanding the program. A new $8 million facility will include 2 more classrooms. allowing the company to train about 100 students every year. To learn more about the program, go to hiringhoosiers.com and click on this story.
Hey, it's that time of year. The annual Christchurch Cathedral Strawberry Festival is tomorrow. Hundreds of volunteers will dish out strawberries, ice cream, and homemade shortcakes on Monument Circle. The event is about more than satisfying your sweet tooth, though.
Once we are able to cover the cost of the festival, everything in addition to gets donated back into the community in the form of small grants. So last year we were able to donate around, I think, $70,000 to all kinds of organizations that help women, children, and general human needs organizations across the city, state, and the world.
The festival goes from 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. or until supplies last. Remember, the event is cash only.
We might be there first thing in the morning.
I think you're right. And you have to put your diets or whatever you're on hold tomorrow, for sure.
And I don't think any ice cream will melt too quickly. It will be cool tomorrow, but that never stops anyone from eating. So go and enjoy. We'll talk about our showers in a transition to much cooler temperatures, but it is a brief transition. Across the central Indiana tonight, we've had these spotty showers, maybe a quick downpour. Here's the cooler air and the cold front starting to swing to the east. That'll bring additional showers through while you sleep. Notice chance for rain is highest in the early morning hours tomorrow. A persistent low chance for rain will continue through the day. It's the beginning of what becomes a wet stretch. Let's take Friday out of it, though. Should be a nice day. That's an important day in Indy. One of the largest outdoor fundraisers at the Indianapolis Zoo. Zubilation will take place with nice weather. As we go to the weekend, chance for thunderstorms will increase and become likely Saturday night and into Sunday. The most likely time for thunderstorms to continue, and that lingers into early next week. Just to give you the big picture, we get back in a situation here where you've got a daily chance for rain and thunderstorms, some periods of heavy rain, and I'd say by the middle of next week we'll add an additional 3 inches of rain, with isolated spots seeing more than that before we break the wet stretch. Temperatures tomorrow, clearly the coolest in the 7-day planner. When we struggle to get into the mid-60s, will generally be around 80 degrees as we get to Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And you'll notice a little humidity mixing in there as well, one of the ingredients for thunderstorms. Tomorrow's wind, strong and cool out of the northwest, gusting over 30 miles per hour at times, and that's pretty much through the day. It won't be until sunset or after that it begins to calm down tomorrow night. As far as our chance for showers tomorrow, 30 to 40% in the morning, lingering into the afternoon. Temperatures from nearly 60 to the mid-60s and a little warmer to the south, and it stays windy. There are the spotty showers to start the day tomorrow. As we get into the afternoon, 1 to 4 still. Some showers linger. The cooler air will have grabbed hold by then. The coldest temperatures, rock bottom on Friday morning. Temperatures in the 40s. They will not be repeated within the 7-day planner. Friday's a nice day. Afternoon sunshine helps us recover to 74. Chance for thunderstorms again, most significant Saturday night through Monday. Temperatures consistently around 80 degrees. I recognize something that you're out to see right now.
Well, Blues fans are rejoicing, including one in our control room right now. Here's a live look from St. Louis, where people are partying in the streets. The city is celebrating the St. Louis Blues. The team just beat the Boston Bruins 4-1 in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's the Blues' first Stanley Cup championship in history. And I loved what you recently tweeted out about Boston.
I hope Boston area fans can find some comfort during this very difficult time.
I'm sure.
In their
Sure,
sports
they don't know.
history.
They don't know how to handle this.
The fact they actually lost something.
I'm sure those two cities look very different right now.
I think they're fine in Boston. Don't shed a tear for those guys. And we've got this for you as well. If first you don't succeed, well, try again. In a related story, a second chance for University High School in the 1A baseball championship game. Their unique story when the news at 11 continues.
Need to know
at martintoyota.com.
Well, for some of the 90 guys trying to make the roster, this camp is more major than many, but the Colts continuing their 3-day camp this week. Fourth-year center Ryan Kelly looking around for Andrew Luck. Still wasn't on the field, still nursing that strained calf. Camp wraps up tomorrow the last day before training camp next month. Countdown is on. Hey, good evening. Just one high school championship remains this season, and it'll happen next Monday and Tuesday at Victory Field. It's the annual baseball championship. For some, their first trip. For others, like 1A University, well, they've been there before, but have some unfinished business. In tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight. There's been plenty of hard work inside Round Tripper Academy in Westfield. The list of those who have gone on to play big league baseball is long. University High School wants to add a new chapter to this facility, the occasional home of the state champs.
Look, when you come to get this play, okay?
Chris Eastep remembers when they almost had that honor a year ago after coming up short of the state final.
We're now going back with, hey, we want to win. You know, we're just not happy being there.
So if the weather's bad outside, the Trailblazers can be found inside, honing their game as they have all season. A team that struggled out of the gate, but lately has won 14 of the last 15 games.
We've had a target on our backs the whole year. That not many people like us because we're a bit cocky, but we try to back it up with our play. And then
you like to talk a little bit, like chatter a little bit.
Yeah, so. We do. So
that's not a bad thing, right?
No, it's not. At least as long as you can back it up.
And they have. In the postseason, University's outscored teams 85-3, learning from the struggles at the beginning of the season.
It's about playing 7 straight innings. It's about running the bases well. And we started to learn some things that, hey, you can't kind of get away with this stuff and win because you got some talent.
And there's plenty of talent, and recently added to it with Noblesville transfer Reese Sharp. The pitcher either headed to IU or the Bigs after being drafted to the 28th round by the Giants this month.
These guys are great. They all love to play. They all like to work hard. They all push each other. We play for each other.
That's what I keep hearing about, is the camaraderie on this group is pretty good, huh?
This is the best team I've ever played on. Really? It's been a lot of fun.
Everybody's giving it to one another, but that's kind of part of it, right?
It's definitely, we got a cast of characters. It's a motley crew out here.
And in some ways, Eastep might not have it any other way. Not only the coach, but the founder of Round Tripper. And the coach that started this high school program a decade ago just might add a different kind of banner inside his facility. You feel like this is the start of a program here, a development that's going to be around for a while? Or?
Well, considering that, let's say it took me 3 years to win the first game, this has been really exciting. I think by playing tougher schedules and having a great institution like University High School, preparing kids for college, I think that, we're starting to build a little bit of a program.
University plays Washington Township in Monday night's 1A final. And coming up tomorrow night, a look at Hamilton Southeastern, who plays in the 4A game for the first time. They get third-ranked Columbus East. Finally tonight, first and foremost, from Prairie View Golf Club, the next to last high school championship of the year. The boys golf final. This is Carmel's Nick Dentino. The birdie on 18 defeats Noblesville's Clay Merchant in the playoff to win the individual title. And the team trophy also going to Carmel. The Greyhounds with a 17-shot win over Center Grove. Congratulations to the Hounds. The news at 11 continues after this.
At Ross, yes for less.
Overnight showers. I doubt if you'll have a rumble of thunder, but it's possible. Certainly no severe weather. Definitely cool tomorrow. We'll struggle to get temperatures back into the mid-60s, scattered showers, and windy. It's all fixed on Friday, though.
Do I have to wear pants tomorrow now?
Yeah.
You do.
Really?
Every day, really, you should.
What he said.
Well, yeah, there's that.
I work with too many men here. Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. GMI starts at 4:30.
Have a good night, everybody.
Please always wear pants.
Yeah, good idea.